Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. The guy on the right that you see is a pretty big D-bag. His name is Adam Green. He is working for the PCCC, and he's a big Warren supporter. PCCC supports Elizabeth Warren. And so, as you guys know, Elizabeth Warren on the debate stage came out up front saying, I do not support democracy. My name is Elizabeth Warren. I do not support democracy. Krystal Ball and Adam Green will get into a debate here. Let's hear it out.
Votes end up being the nominee. I mean, Democrats have been talking for 4 years about the popular vote and how the will of the people should decide. Isn't it going to destroy the party, essentially, if you have Bernie Sanders come into the convention with a plurality of delegates and then it gets taken from him by superdelegates on the second ballot? I mean, that is going to destroy the party.
Yeah, let's not feed conspiracy people online, Krystal.
How is that a conspiracy? Your candidate admitted to it on the debate stage last night, as did all the others.
No, that's a preemptive stirring up the pot. The person with the most support should be the nominee. It is not okay to win the Democratic nomination on a technicality, which is what some people are trying to do. In a six-way race, if somebody is blocked at 20, 25, 27%, that you cannot argue that they are the choice of Democrats. You know, it has to be a ranked choice voting principle where the Democratic Party can look at, as a whole and say, who's our best bet to win? Who can we all unify around? I don't see how you can defend the proposition that if at the end of the day it is true that only 25%, 27% of Democratic voters want one person as a nominee, they should be the nominee. That just seems a little bit weird to me.
But I think it seems a little bit weird to say that a candidate who did even more poorly than that should be the nominee, though.
Yeah, again, ranked choice voting. Do you or do you not agree with ranked choice voting? We cannot.
But that's not the system that we have set up. I mean, that's not how this is all structured.
There is a principle set up. It just shocks me sometimes when Sanders people talk about one principle and then fall.
So this douchebag is trying to act like ranked choice voting is the principle in play in terms of voting, which is a bunch of bogus. So he says, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory. Dude, you and the other candidates literally all just on stage on the debate, which NBC News cut out of their YouTube video, by the way, literally said you will just let the process, let the DNC go through its process or whatever it was that it said, which is just code word for we're going to cheat out the person with the plurality. It's very obvious. And so what's so crazy about a 6-person race, someone getting 27% and being the Democratic nominee? What's so crazy about that? If there are a lot of candidates, the vote is going to be split more, and the principle we should be going upon is whoever gets the most votes wins, right? That's what we should be doing, right? That's how we should be doing it. So why is it so crazy to think that, there's so many candidates, and that just opens the door for basically, let's get so many centrist candidates in to split the vote and then prevent a 50%, majority, and then boom, we go to a convention. But what does he mean by the Democratic Party coming together to decide who's the best candidate? That's my question, because there's 600 superdelegates that would come in on the second round, but also, if you're talking about delegates are not the people. So we need to get rid of delegates in the first place, by the way. We should just do a popular vote altogether. So here's how it would work if you don't understand. So in the first round, they're pledged delegates. You can't do anything. But once it goes into a brokered scenario in a second round, the delegates can do literally whatever they want. So, what exertion or accountability or responsibility do those people have, or you have over those people? Those delegates who are, the amalgamation of your vote amongst others, you don't have any accountability for any of that. And so the delegates get to make their own decisions. How is that democratic by any means? I'm not going to pick who my delegate supports. My delegate is going to choose that. That's not democracy. Are you kidding me? So no, absolutely not. That's not democracy. And so even that doesn't even pass the smell test, because even if it's in the second round in terms of regular delegates, because that seems to be the argument that he's making here, even regular delegates won't make sense because, they don't have, like, I don't have any accountability over the delegate who my vote is represented by. And so they just do it. It's just a complete clusterfuck chaos, basically, okay? Just complete chaos in which they can do whatever we want. That's a stupid system. Super delegates coming in on the second round, that's a stupid system. And then the idea of Elizabeth Warren getting like 2% of the vote, because that's what she's on pace to get, basically. She's not going to get many delegates at all. She'll maybe hit like 200 delegates max. And so the idea of a candidate with that little delegates becoming president is absolutely laughable. Our delegate system is outdated as hell. It's ridiculous. We need to move to a just completely popular vote system is what we need to move towards. And especially if you're going to espouse those beliefs. But Krystal Ball obviously took this loser to the mat. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's definitely a big-time sophist. I know he thinks he's being real smart with the salmon-colored shirt. But you're not, buddy. Everything you're saying is wrong. Ranked choice voting is not the system we have. I don't know why you're pulling up the RCV within the Democratic Party. And so the Democratic establishment, the DLC, the DNC, whatever the fuck you want to call it, those people are not me. They are not us. They are not the voters of the Democratic Party. And so if you're going to have all those candidates running in the race and, you're deciding to run and then whoever comes out with the most votes wins, that makes the most sense. And it makes complete sense for somebody, even if they have 27 or 25 or whatever at the top. They got the most votes, and so therefore, they should be the candidate who's the Democratic leader. And so what they're saying is, we have no chance of getting the most delegates at all. We suck. Our campaign is terrible. And basically, our only shot is to do this unity garbage, okay, where we get negative 5 trillion delegates, but because there's this split that we have caused, we're going to come in and swoop and steal the primary nominations. So you really get ready for a lot of stuff, folks, because there could be a lot of stuff coming our way.